And I am back after a little hiatus here. First of all, I want to thank everybody. I've got 1,000 subscribers, a little over 1,000 subscribers right now. And I figured the thing that I would do is come back with a video that helps you guys draw what's in your head. Now, you see these wonderful stick figures that I have in front of me. One that has his hands open, and the other one has his hands down to the side. Uh, I'm going to talk about those in a second. So if you've never drawn anything that's in your head, meaning you have ideas for stories or you have ideas for characters, there is a method that you can use. Hopefully you can use this because this is one of the things that helps me draw either when I'm stuck or I'm trying to get something down. So let's look at what you should do first. Let's say that you want to draw, you're making your own manga and you want to draw a character, but you see it in your head, but you don't quite know what it is that you want to put down on paper. So instead of you kind of scribbling around and getting frustrated and getting angry at yourself, the best thing that you could do is to uh, write it down. You definitely want to write it down with maybe your character is you want to write down the characters, the age, the height, write down everything that you see. Whatever you see in your mind, you want to write it down. Is the character wearing a long coat? Is the character male, female? You want to write down a description of your character. I mean, I know this seems a little silly, hopefully it doesn't, but a lot of artists, we don't write things down. We just kind of get in there and start drawing. So the best way to start getting things done is to actually write them down. You're going to make yourself a design docket or a design doc. Um, so you want to write down descriptions. If it's a monster, write down the monster. How many legs do you see? What color is it? Does it have fur? Are you drawing a character that's a soldier? Is he futuristic? Is she futuristic? Meaning, is there armor or is it more of a clothing military looking soldier? Does the soldier look more like an astronaut? You want to write it down. That's really really important. Once you've written that down, hopefully you understand how to do basic figures. If not, I have plenty of videos for that. You guys can definitely check them out. But the other thing that I want to show you guys is that if you're trying to draw like buildings or vehicles, um, and sometimes even characters, you want to break them down to just basic shapes. And that's what I have over here. This is a basic little template. The reason why I drew it like I was 5 years old is because right here, I'm not worried about the detail on this guy or gal. The only thing that I'm worried about, um, if I want to put a shirt on them, then I can worry about a shirt, and then right here, um, and now I'm just kind of putting in these simple little lines. And from these simple little lines, well, I know that this character has on a suit, and I know this character has a part in his hair, and he's evil, and I know that he's a vampire. Now, hopefully that doesn't seem too silly, but we've got some information right here, right? And by the way, it's a little bit fun to draw like this because characters like this frees you up because you're not worried about detail. You're just worried about getting it done. Like right here. I'm going to go ahead and give this character some armor. Give him an armband, some little shin pads, some kind of crazy boots. I got this really elaborate belt over here. And I'm just drawing this character down, and now he's got like a helmet on. He's got all kinds of weird stuff. And this is going to be my basic design. Now, if you draw better than this, now, well, I hope you do, then go ahead and draw better than this. But I like to design a page of characters like this, where I just want the feel of it, because I'm not going to be worried about the costume or their. I'm not trying to bog myself down with details too early. So that's why I like to keep it rather simple, and I don't want to make anything complex at this point. You're not even designing at this point. You're just getting the idea down. You can always go in here and, you know, make some more details on this, and you can always go in and just do more. That's not actually a problem. But I find that if you keep it, and this is something that I started doing recently, if you keep things simple, just like this, you'll find yourself having a lot better of a time creating your cast of characters. So it's something that you may want to try, or you may think this is total BS. But if you do a big page of these guys, then you will find that you will get your cast of characters done pretty quickly without worrying about things like, oh, this strand of hair over here doesn't look right, or I don't like these eyebrows. If you take all that stuff out and just draw the basics, and then throw some basic color up in here, if you are doing something that's in color, it does help out a lot. So before you kind of dismiss it, I would definitely say try it. And going back to the writing down, the reason why a lot of people don't know what to draw or don't know what to do next is because they don't really know how to write. And you don't have to become a writer, but if you want to make yourself a little character sheet once you get the design down, and there's plenty of resources out there where you can get like the age, the race, the class, if you're so inclined to do that, and what kind of characters you're doing, then that helps out a lot. There's some definitely some character design techniques that I can show you guys. And I'm also toying with the idea of working on an app that helps you with your character creation, but that's a little bit off. So we got write it down. You got basic shapes. Everything is going to start with a basic shape. So get your basic shapes down first. Once you get your basic shapes down, then you want to have LOD, levels of detail. I generally try to go for 3 levels of detail. So let's just say I have this basic shape right here. And this is a nice little exercise for you guys to do. So, break this shape up into 3 levels of detail. So if I'm going to do that, then let's do this, because I'm trying to break this up. And that's like maybe 1 level of detail. But now I want to change this up a little bit. So I don't like the way it's attaching right here and making it look like they're just lines on top. So what I'm going to do is go in and let's do this. So now I've taken this shape, and I know this is not perfect, and I've broken that shape up a little bit. So now I've taken that, brought this down here. Well, I want to put some more detail onto it. So now I'm going to add a circle here, and now I want to put this right in here. And so right here, I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to start putting in a little bit more detail. Now I want to get in and maybe show that there's maybe some panels here, and they're not all even. And so now we'll put some rivets right here to give it a look like it was welded together. And then maybe you want to put some shadowing or shading in here. And so that's a little exercise you can do. Start with the basic shape and then start breaking it up. I realize that this is not my best drawing at all. And for those of you that are seeing this for the first time, I apologize. But you can take a look at the rest of my videos and see that I actually can draw. But you want to get down with your levels of detail. And if you're drawing something that's too big, break it down. Break it down into little parts. If you're trying to draw this elaborate tank and maybe you can't, if you're trying to draw something that's a tank, big old tank, and now you're getting confused because now you're like, okay, this is like the greatest looking tank I've ever seen, right? So what you want to do is once you get those basic shapes down and you start breaking down the shapes, you're trying to put some tires up in here. Take it piece by piece and go ahead and break it down. And one of the most important things that you have, once you have all this basic stuff right here, whether it's the figure, whether it's a shape, whether it's a tank, the biggest thing that you want to use, and I should have like typed this out like I did with all the rest of the stuff, but you want to use reference. That's when you go in and use reference. Once you got your idea down, you can go in and use reference. You can look at, I would say, look at things from real life, not necessarily another artist's work, but if you're drawing some kind of body armor, look at like motorcycle racing gear, or look at padding, hockey padding. They got a lot of intricate parts to the hockey uniforms. You can look at the way astronauts are made. If you're looking at a tank, look at some old school tanks. Look at some of the tanks that Leonardo da Vinci had. Once you guys can put down your basic stuff with form, then you can apply reference to your own design. That way you have your own voice. So I hope that helped. If you have something in your head, the first thing that you want to do is write it down. And you want to write the context that it's in. If it's a story, you may want to write the setting. You're probably already thinking about this stuff, but start writing things down as an artist. That's very, very important to do. And you don't have to write it on a computer program. Just get you some paper and a notebook and a pad and pen and start writing. So I hope this helped some people out. This was not a drawing video. My next video will be a drawing video. I'll be talking about probably the chest, or maybe I will do the back next. But I'm also going to start doing some videos on perspective for you guys, and I'll get into some other kinds of stuff. We'll get into a little bit of character design. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped, is my biggest thing with this channel. So please, if you haven't already, do subscribe. Take a look at my other videos, because I draw way better than what you see right here. Thank you, everybody that's been joining the forum. I got like 100 members on the forum right now on my Facebook page. And thank you to the over 1,000 people that have subscribed. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And if you learn anything, like I said, just help me spread the word. All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.